Hi, everybody. My name's Joe K. It's Joe K Music, and welcome to another day in the underground. I have some potentially breaking news here. For those of you that have been watching the channel, though, over the last couple of months, it's maybe not even breaking news for some of us, okay? But for others, it's definitely some breaking news. There are some big changes happening at Strange Music this year in particular. They've been going on for a long time, but this year it just seems to be one thing after another. A lot of artists getting off the roster, some artists moving on, and things like that. And today's episode is, quite honestly, more of what you've already been hearing from this channel. One of the key members of Strange Music over the last several years has been Krizz Kaliko. And unfortunately for some that have been following him on Strange for a long time, it is under pretty good authority that he is no longer going to be part of Strange Music and is going to be joining a different record label. Who is that record label, you may ask? Well, there's been some speculation, and we're gonna go to some screenshots here because you know as well as I do, I gotta come with the receipts, or you bastards won't believe a word I'm saying. So let's take a look at some of the receipts here, see what's going on. There's been a slew of different content that's been being pumped out by Strange Music, Krizz Kaliko himself, and some additional speculation from fans that has come my way. So let's take a look at some of the speculation here, and we're going to dive into some of the proof and the evidence here that I'm going to lay forward to show why I feel like he's going to no longer be on Strange Music. Let's go ahead and dive right into these screenshots here. So the first image I'm going to show you guys is an image of Krizz Kaliko during a live stream concert, and he is repping the Magic Ninja Entertainment jacket. All right, you guys see that? That's the MNE logo right on the jacket. This was just the other day. And this honestly had a lot of people in a frenzy. People were freaking out and messaging me and saying, he's going the Magic Ninja. He's going the Magic Ninja. I haven't heard anybody officially say he's going the Magic Ninja. And with what I'm about to lay out here, it's quite evident that that's not going to be the case. But I do find it kind of interesting that he's repping the gear. So maybe, I'm sure he's close to some of those artists and, obviously has a good relationship with them over there. So maybe there's going to be some future work in progress, maybe some future tours and things like that. But as of right now, from what I'm gathering, it does not appear that he's actually on that label. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the actual hard evidence. And before I do that, I want to lay the groundwork here of what's happened over the last couple of years. Now, many of you know that back in, I believe, 2019, during a show at Red Rocks, he re-signed to Strange Music. It was a big deal because he had, left the label or not re-signed, I guess, for a couple of years. So that was 2019. He re-signed. I think I've heard rumors, he got a truck and things like that for signing and like as a bonus and stuff like that. And they kind of sweetened the deal for him. He's always, been pretty close to Strange Music, obviously, over the years, and always seems to have a good relationship with Tech. And so it wasn't really a huge surprise when he finally came out back in 2019 and re-signed. But to some, it was pretty breaking news. Back that up a couple years though, because he had said at that time that he had been basically working off of a handshake deal with Strange Music over the last, I think he said 3 years. The video's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's his Krizz Kaliko re-signs with Strange Music video. It's on someone else's channel. But let me go ahead and take a look here at the image, and you'll kind of see what I mean. So this right here, this is Krizz Kaliko LLC. This is all public record, so I'm not doxing anybody or anything like that. This is all out there for public consumption. And this is the certificate of organization of his LLC, Krizz Kaliko. And if you pay special attention here to the date, this was done the 23rd of October back in 2017. So this to me kind of all lines up with that narrative that he was talking about as far as being on that handshake deal with Strange. Obviously, he was setting himself up at the time to get his business in order and make sure that everything was straight on that end. And that's really, in my opinion, kind of where the seed was probably planted. Now, if we take a look here at some of the newer information along those same lines of things being public record, there was a image here that I'm going to share that was not only shared by Krizz Kaliko with the bottom part cut off, and you'll see what I mean in a second, but it was also shared by Strange Music as well. And looking at this image, this is a flyer here for, you know, the big reveal. This is from the Strange Music Instagram, and it's a worldwide live stream event. Krizz Kaliko, the reveal, May 15th, 2001 at 8 p.m. If you take a look closer, though, on the bottom right, there is an image of what appears to be a house with, you know, headphones on it with the words, and it's really hard to see here if you're watching on your phone, but it has the word Ear House. That's EAR house. All right. So I was doing a little bit of digging when I saw this, and I was getting a slew of messages from people with all kinds of other speculation. But it became quite clear to me that there was more going on here than meets the eye. And when I started to deep dive into this, the evidence is pretty clear to me what is happening. And in my opinion, what's going to happen on May 15th is likely going to be that Krizz Kaliko is leaving Strange, and I believe, evidence pending here, I'm going to show you in a moment, that Earhouse is his new record label. And I think that's going to be the big news. We'll see. Do I think that he's going to, you know, magically just disappear from tours with Strange? Maybe, but I would bet over time, you know, there may be some side deals going on, maybe for merchandising or maybe for tours or maybe features and collabs and things like that. I don't know if he's leaving with, you know, maybe the same mind state as some of the others that have left. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that, but it is definitely interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some other things. So like I said, we laid the groundwork with the LLC that was created here back in October of 2017. But then it gets a little bit more interesting. So if we take a look here, we can see that these are articles of incorporation, meaning he's making basically an ink, you know, earhouse.inc. So looking at the documentation here, you can clearly see under Article 1, the name of the corporation is Earhouse Inc. There is a registered agent's name. Typically, this is going to be a lawyer. You know, I blacked out some of the names and addresses and things like that, but it's going to become quite clear in just a moment here that this is from Krizz Kaliko. Looking here, you know, the number of shares, 30,000. That's pretty standard. This, you know, incorporating does give some flexibility, and it allows for investors to come in and, you know, purchase some of these shares. You know, he can start getting those investors and divvying up those shares however he feels like, you know, doing. The names that you're seeing on here, the one being Sam Watson. So I didn't black these out because, again, a quick Google search of what is Krizz Kaliko's real name is going to show up that it's Samuel Watson. Along with his, I believe it's his wife. Do not crucify me if I get this wrong, but I believe it's his wife. Crystal Watson is also, you know, part owner of the record label with Krizz. So as you can see down here, some of the dates being January 19th, 2021. Obviously, that is key here because that, again, you know, lines up with our timelines that we've been talking about. So that is a pretty key date. And then, you know, looking on beyond the rest here, you can see that both of them are the incorporators. So, they're both involved in this. This is the official certificate of incorporation from the state of Missouri. You can see all of this information here, again, with the dates and everything. So again, this is all public record. I do find it pretty interesting that it was shared the way that it was shared, given that I believe, wanted to reveal this on May 15th at the big reveal. I was looking at Krizz Kaliko's Instagram, and I noticed that the image on his seemed to have the bottom cut off, which is obviously a pretty smart move if you're trying to, hold on to the fact that a new record label is being created and you're leaving Strange, and that's, kind of what everyone's anticipating. I found it interesting, though, that Strange just posted the whole flyer. They had to have known what was going to be shared there, so maybe they didn't care about the clues, but, I mean, you leave enough breadcrumbs and fans are going to start, diving in and seeing what's going on. So that's definitely been the case here. But nonetheless, this is all the evidence that you can find online here. This is just the annual registration. So anytime you have like an LLC or incorporate, you're incorporating your business or whatever the case may be, you have to have some kind of annual reporting that you have to do. And typically when you go and you search these documents, you'll find one for every year. It tells you that they're in good standing, etc. You can see who the officers are. So if there were a board of directors, typically board of directors, and I'm not going to get too much into the legal side of this because I am not a lawyer and I cannot give legal advice, obviously. But typically when you have a board of directors, that is usually going to come more into play when you have investors and things like that, because maybe they're going to want a seat on the board, and as share owners, they're going to want to have some decision-making power, along with whatever they're investing in. So right now, though, obviously with it just being them two, it's pretty straightforward here. We got the secretary, we got the president, we got all the dates just, matching up the other document that we showed here. So there's really nothing too new on here. Just showing that, again, it's been registered and all of this is lined up. So that's really the big news, guys. Krizz Kaliko, I believe, with about 99.999% certainty, is off of Strange Music. He's starting his own record label, Earhouse Inc. And I think the future is going to be pretty bright for him. I know in the past, I've never been a huge fan of Krizz Kaliko's music per se, but I've always appreciated the art and I've always appreciated his talent. It's just not always my lane, I guess, but he makes really good music. It's always high quality. He puts his heart and his soul into what he does. And I know back in the day when he, re-signed at Red Rocks, he had mentioned that, touring and things like that and having a family life has become really difficult. Ultimately, I think the game is changing. I think that's why we're seeing this mass exodus of artists from Strange Music right now. Stevie Stone just left. Darrein Safron was off the label. I have episodes on that. Make sure to check those out. But, all these, and there's more to come. There's more artists that are going to be probably announcing their own ventures very shortly here. So keep an eye out for more. Chuck Reeves was actually on the channel not too long ago talking about a bunch of people that were leaving, and slowly but surely everything Chuck said seems to be coming true. So pay attention to that. Feel free to check out those episodes and stay tuned for more updates like this, because I think they're just going to keep coming. But I think as far as Krizz goes, I think it just comes down to being able to control your own destiny. The industry's changing. You don't necessarily need a record label anymore. You don't need a Strange Music like you did maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago. It's just not the case anymore. So maybe those partnerships will still exist, but the power is going to be in Krizz's hands now, and it's going to allow him to make the exact moves he wants to make at the exact time he wants to make them. And there's a lot that comes with that. The freedom to tour when and where you want to. the freedom to create when and what you want to release what you create when and what you want to. You know, there's all kinds of different things that come with this. So I'm really excited for Krizz Kaliko. I think it's going to be a good move for him. You know, I think over the next year or so, I think we're going to start seeing, you know, really what his catalog is going to start morphing into. I hope that he starts pumping out music right away with this, you know, big reveal. You know, I hope the quality stays up. I hope the video quality stays up. I hope he continues to feature some of the really good artists that he's collaborated with in the past on Strange and otherwise. So I wish nothing but the best to him and his team. And I think we're all going to be watching and seeing what he's doing. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe, like this video, share this video, and you know, do whatever you can to help out the channel. I got a slew of underground content that's going to be continuing to come out over this next year or so. So stay tuned. There's going to be more artists on here with interviews. There's going to be more topics covered, and there's probably going to be more updates like this very soon in the future here. So thank you guys for watching. My name's Joe K. See you guys next time.